Welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and in today's program I'll talk to Jason Doty, president of the Ken Hubbs Foundation and its 60-year history honoring local high school athletes. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Well, I'm delighted to welcome my next guest, Jason Doty, the president of the Ken Hubbs Foundation, here to talk about a 60-year history of honoring local athletes.
Yeah, so excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
So before we talk about the foundation and the work it does in the present, let's go all the way back to the beginning and the man, Ken Hubbs. This was, to put it lightly, an extraordinary athlete.
An extraordinary athlete who passed away too soon. And Ken Hubbs grew up in Colton, California in 1954, played for the Little League World Series title against Schenectady, New York. My father happened to be a teammate of Kenny's growing up in Colton, California. And Kenny went on to have a career with the Chicago Cubs, a 1962 Rookie of the Year and 1962 National League Player of the Year,
which was extraordinary. I mean,
extraordinary.
It's very unusual for rookies to achieve that.
Absolutely. And so Kenny went on to play for another year and then passed away in 1964 in a tragic plane crash.
And he was just barely 22. He had so much ahead of him, and he's talked about in such almost mythologized terms. He was a four-sport letterman in high school. He was student body president, outstanding role model. Talk to me about the impetus to create the foundation and honor his memory in a way that recognizes local athletes and something that's continuing 60 years later.
Yeah, as you stated, so he passed away at 22 years old in 1964, and his brother, and along with other businessmen from Colton, got together and decided that they wanted to name an award after this outstanding young man who was a leader in his school, leader in the community, and just really, really well respected. And so they created the Ken Hubbs Award. And this award goes to individuals who are showing excellence in athletics, excellence in the community, excellence in leadership. And the award has lasted for 60 years. And so after this many years and awarding so many great individuals, it has become a legacy of excellence.
What does it mean to you that it's still in existence 60 years later? There aren't too many programs that can say that. Again, you know, local hero, local foundation, honoring local athletes, that must mean a great deal that it is sustained for so long.
You know, Keith Hubbs was Kenny Hubbs' brother and kept the foundation alive for so many years. And then my uncle, Ron Doty, went on to continue the legacy and keep the award going. They have both passed. So I now am the president of the foundation. I feel as though this award has lasted because of the individuals that have won the award in the past. For example, Ronnie Lott with the 49ers, Alex Madison, who was with the Vikings and now just signed recently with the Raiders. Our past Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels from Cajon High School. So these individuals have left a legacy of excellence and they continue on. And I think that as they go on and succeed, people see what a great award this is and carry on that tradition. We also, in 2012, started awarding women. And so Cody Leversky was the first from Yucaipa, California. She went on to score the winning goal for UCLA in their national championship game. So we have so many great young ladies and men that have gone on to do great things, and they've carried on the legacy.
You talked a little bit earlier that it's not just recognizing outstanding athleticism. And in particular, again, with the inspiration of Ken Hubbs, it's about civic engagement. It's about, again, loyalty, faithfulness, kindness, honor. Talk to me about some of those qualities that you look for in the folks that you recognize with this award.
Yeah, so many of these individuals, we get hooked on the negative so many times. And every year in May, we gather at a banquet and we award these athletes. And their attributes are absolutely amazing. And when you sit in the room at this banquet and you hear all of their accolades and you hear of all the great things they've done in the community, done at their school, on top of being great athletes, their GPAs. And it is so awesome because we get to see all of these amazing young men and women who who are doing great things.
At the start of what could be a fantastic career.
Absolutely, and so many of them do go on to do great things, whether it be in education or business or not just being a professional athlete. But we've seen so many that continue to give back to the community and continue to give back to our area.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what the foundation means specifically to the Doty family? Your family has had a very long history with this foundation.
Yeah, like I stated earlier, in 1954, my father being able to play with Kenny Hubbs. My father passed away in 1982 when I was 6 years old. So me being involved in the Ken Hubbs Foundation was a way for me to learn a little bit more about my father and a little bit more about what he grew up and the individuals he grew up with. And so being a part of this and the Doty and the Hubbs connection has been so great, and I'm so fortunate.
When we come back, we'll have more with Jason Doty, president of the Ken Hubbs Foundation, right after this.
I'm Ari Emile Liberti. You may know me from the Netflix series All the Light We Cannot See. And this is my guide dog, Ingrid. I was paired with Ingrid through Guide Dogs for the Blind, the largest guide dog school in North America. Ingrid not only increases my mobility, she also helps me lead a more abundant and inclusive life. When everyone is empowered, our communities are stronger. For more information on Guide Dogs' life-changing mission, visit guidedogs.com.
Can you help me?
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
Well, I'm talking with Jason Doty, the current president of the Ken Hubbs Foundation, an organization that for 60 years has been honoring local athletes for not only outstanding athleticism, but just for outstanding personal qualities as well. What is the process that folks are chosen for the award? Is there a nomination process? Are they chosen by coaches or peers?
Yeah, so we work with the 26 schools that are represented, and we work with their athletic directors. And the athletic directors are kind of the unforeseen heroes. You know, they do so many behind the scenes work with the athletes, making sure that they're staying on track, not only with their GPA, but making sure that they're being leaders in their schools. So the athletic directors work with our 26 Ken Hubbs Foundation directors. And in that process, they go through and fill out all of their accolades, and then we gather and we look for the very best. And in that submission of their resumes, we see so many great student athletes. And at the end of that, we try to figure out who's the best of the best.
Is it tough with those many people trying to make that decision? Everybody's got an opinion, everybody's got a favorite.
So tough. And at times we argue, you know, at times it becomes that, you know.
But is that something very grateful about the award, that it isn't an obvious choice? There are so many to choose from. There are so many great athletes and great young men and women coming out of this region.
Yeah, like I stated earlier, it just, you know, sometimes we get hooked on the negative, and then if you could sit in the room and read through these resumes with us and sit there and go through all the great things that they've done and all the many people that they've touched through their athleticism or through their community service and all the great things they've done in just a few short years, you know.
It must be nice to, in a way, almost put this region on the map in terms of drawing attention to the talent that exists here.
Yeah.
You know, letting folks know that these schools, these kids, you know, this is a pipeline to greatness in a lot of cases.
It really is. You know, there is a video that you can see on the Ken Hubbs website, and it is called The Glimpse of Greatness. And that glimpse of greatness is what a lot of these athletes have had, is a glimpse of greatness in their 4 short years of high school. And so we are so fortunate to be able to see that and then to see them go on to do great things. So it definitely is a pipeline to success.
Are there ways that people can help? Do you need volunteers, donations? What are ways the community can kind of participate in this program?
Yeah, so we definitely have. We have Ken Hubbs 16 at Ken Hubbs 16 for Instagram. And we have the Ken Hubbs Foundation on Facebook, and then www.kenhubbs.com for our website. And, you know, we are a nonprofit organization that looks for individuals to either contribute, which we've had, And then we have Westbound Communications along with Stater Brothers Market that contribute yearly to help us continue on like we have for the past 60 years.
What has success looked like for you as president in the time that you've been kind of overseeing this foundation? You know, what is it? What are the things you're most proud of?
Working with our directors are absolutely awesome. They are business leaders. They are individuals who work with our school district. They are coaches. They are mentors. They are individuals that have gone on and retired after many years of being great coaches and teachers. And so we are very fortunate to have such a great board. And I feel very fortunate to work with them.
How important is it for communities to have those local heroes? Those people that, you know, were born and raised in the town, went on to greatness, but still kept their roots. You know, again, Ken only lived, you know, very briefly, but, you know, was very devoted to his hometown, was very devoted to visiting sick children. I know, you know, he really understood the benefits and the perks that went with being an athlete, and you know, really made a lot of his brief time.
Yeah, when you talk about the legacy of 60 years, you know, it's so great. I was able to speak with Alex Madison at the Jaden Daniels parade, and Alex Madison is such a great individual who has given back so much to our community, along with the other athletes that have gone on to win. And so working with them and seeing them come back and give back to the kids, and the kids, how they look up to those individuals who've gone on to great success, teaches them and helps them to understand that they're from the Inland Empire and they too can be successful.
What are your goals for the future? Are there plans for the organization, things you want to do that you haven't done? Are there goals you want to achieve?
Yeah, I think we still want to just get down to the lower roots. If we can get the name out, like doing this today is so grateful that we can continue to allow people to understand that this great award is out there. So many times people show up to the banquet and they go, wow, we didn't know this was so awesome, and all the great legacy that is behind it. And so just continue to get the word out there, and so that little kids can aspire to one day be a Ken Hubbs athlete.
I think you mentioned it before, but you've got a website. What is the best way that people can find out not only about Ken Hubbs the athlete, but about the foundation and about the awards?
Yeah, so we have our at Ken Hubbs 16 for Instagram, the Ken Hubbs Foundation on Facebook, and then www.kenhubbs.com for our website.
Jason Doty, I want to thank you so much for being on the program. It is a wonderful program. Do you have any sense of how many folks have been honored in the past 60 years? What's the number up to at this point?
Wow, that's a great question. So within the last few years, we've added 26 schools. So we have an athlete from the boys and the girls. So we award 52 athletes every year.
How far is the geographical area that you cover?
We're as far east as Beaumont, as far west as Fontana.
And when you look at the nominations, is it typically a pool of like dozens? What is the pool that you're usually evaluating?
Yeah, so each school can nominate up to 4 athletes. And so when we get those submissions, it is a lot. And so we go through all of them, look at them very carefully, and we really, really take it with a great heart to nominate these athletes.
To find out more, we want to make sure we let people know the website again. It is kenhubbs.com. Jason Doty, president of the foundation, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for what you're doing for the community.
Thank you.